For the 35th win of his career, he takes on veteran Edwin Vazquez. Zab Judah is going to turn 30 years old next month. The brash Brooklynite still a major attraction in the sport. Right now, he's simply a man on a mission. He is looking for a win after what was yet another controversial yet wildly entertaining loss. Throughout his 11-year career, Zab Super Judah has seen it all. World title fights, pound-for-pound respect, and heartbreaking losses, as well as his share of controversy. Fittingly, all of that was experienced in his last battle, a hard-fought, bloody loss to welterweight titleist Miguel Cotto, a defeat which helped Zab answer some burning questions.
In the Cotto fight, I found out a lot about myself. I found out I could take a good little blow shot, and keep it going. I found out that, the question about people saying about my chin and my heart, I hope they're satisfied now. That it showed them that, I'm a warrior for life.
From the start, Judah went toe-to-toe with the undefeated Cotto, rocking him several times. Along the way, though, Zab took his share of punishment as well, sustaining low blows, a cut from a clash of heads, and eventually an 11th round TKO loss. Team Judah has pointed to the fouls as the reason things didn't go his way.
The first one was a low blow. I heard it because it kind of jammed the cup up in there. But the second one took a lot out of me.
I'm not trying to say the guy's a dirty fighter. I'm just saying that, you don't make a mistake. We professionals. And you don't do it twice, 3 times, you go down there. I mean, once you do it once, okay, you got a warning. You come back, especially the second time, you do it again, it's on purpose, man.
I can't reach inside another person's head and heart and know exactly what they're thinking and feeling. But my impression at the time certainly is that the low blows by Cotto were intentional.
You can only go by what the fighter says. Zab says it affected him for the rest of the fight. I have to buy it because I can't judge any other way.
Despite the loss, there is still plenty of fight left in the soon-to-be 30-year-old Judah. He believes his Big Apple showdown with Cotto actually helped him regain some of the respect he always had as a world champion.
Sometimes they say even with a loss, it's a win. And I felt like on this one, it was one of those kind of fights. We both went out there and fought our hearts out, you know what I mean? So I don't think that, like when you go out there and you give it your all, it's not called taking punishment, you know what I'm saying? It's a great fight, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you think that those wars that Joe Louis and guys had, that they went home and said, I took punishment tonight. They said, nah, I fought a hell of a fight.
And people can say this guy doesn't have heart, this guy's a punk, this guy doesn't have courage, and I hate that. Anybody who gets in a boxing ring has heart, and Zab showed his heart against Miguel Cotto.
Judah is now set to take on Edwin Vazquez, a fight the brash Brooklynite hopes to use as a stepping stone to another title run.
At this point, I'm just hungry for a win right now. That's it. I'm just hungry for a win, you know what I'm saying? I've been on top, to the top of the top, went to the bottom of the bottom, and it feels much, much better on top.
Well, I think Zab's still got a future. I mean, he's still competitive with the top guys. His name is, known by everybody. This ESPN show is going to be an important fight for him. He's got to not only win, but he's got to look good.
Well, I think Zab Judah's still an integer. He's still a factor. And the question becomes now, can he come back to the front burner before going to the back burner of the division?
And he is hoping to heat it up tonight. Third fight after Zab's 1-year suspension from the state of Nevada. The near riot he caused against Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the second major suspension of his career. The 2 suspensions have cost him a combined 18 months away from the ring and $325,000 out of his bank account. Edwin Vazquez, Puerto Rican native, 35 years old, 22 wins, 8 knockouts in his career. He has fought against good competition, but inactivity definitely a factor. He has fought just 7 times in the last 7 years. Zab Super Judah has long been a polarizing figure in the sport. Love him or hate him, you have to respect his box office appeal. 34-5, 25 knockouts. Of course, well known as a very fast, athletic southpaw. His last 5 fights, he hasn't won a fight since May 2005. The Baldomir upset was a low point. Floyd Cotto obviously tops in the division, and the no contest against Galvin due to the cut was on Friday Night Fights in April. It is time for the final Teddy's fight plan of the Friday night fight schedule as the football season has arrived.
The NFL season is kicking off. I figured why not pay tribute to our two favorite teams? Mine, the New York Jets, Saul's, the Cowgirls. The Cowboys. Also, my favorite quarterback, Chad Pennington. Now, Chad Pennington used to throw in short passes. We're going to change things up. We're going to have him go for the bomb. Go for the touchdown right away. He doesn't usually do that. Also, our last show of the year, we're going to make a bold, bold prediction. Who's going to the Super Bowl? Well, that is an insane prediction, but a bold one would be the Jets. And also what would be bold is to tell you who's going to win tonight and how and with what punch. Zab Judah's winning, second round, left uppercut. And how's he going to do it? Well, against Vazquez, the square guy who's slow, walks straight in. He's going to look for the jab a little bit. You know Zab, he likes to look for left hand, straight or left uppercut. That's going to be the punch, the left uppercut that's going to score the knockout for Zab Judah. Look for that, and look for the Jets later on in the Super Bowl. How is Vazquez going to pull off a huge upset? And that's an understatement. We're on the football theme. I mean, it would be like Appalachian State beating Michigan, and everybody knows that couldn't happen, right? Okay, Zab Judah, the southpaw, who's very fast, much quicker than me, Vazquez. First of all, early on, Zab coming off that knockout loss against Cotto, going to keep their hands up. That's where you look for Vazquez to use that old, reliable, straight right hand. That's the punch that works with southpaws. But Zab tends to get a little loose and start dropping those hands. When he drops it, that lead right hand, he keeps it over on the left. Forget about the right hand if you're Vazquez. Move away from the power hand, the left hand of Zab Judah, and get over here and score with your jabs. There's nothing to protect over here. And also left hooks. And if you do that and you're Vazquez, a monumental upset, or even bigger.
Scheduled for 10, but Teddy says second round with the left uppercut. Bill Clancy, the referee.
All right, gentlemen, we went through the rules in the back. I demand a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times, and gentlemen, you must obey my commands. Now, your trunks are very high. I'm allowing punches at the top, the very top here. Zab, you're fine. I want your punches above the belt line. Preguntas? Questions? Touch them up. Good luck and God bless.
Bill Clancy says he demands a good, clean fight after he had a DQ our first fight. The Ring Experience is brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Obviously, it favors Zab in terms of the level of fights, but Vazquez was in with two future world champs. He was knocked out by Acelino Freitas and Ricardo Torres. Zab's in the white, Vazquez in the black.
Vazquez has lost when he has stepped up in class. Obviously, he is up in class tonight. Also, Vazquez has been involved with head clashes. Matter of fact, 3 fights ago he was cut. He's been involved with 2 technical draws because of his tendency to get in there with his head.
For what it's worth, Edwin Vazquez was extremely confident when he talked to us in the pre-fight meetings. He said he is focused on the style of Judah and he is as prepared as he possibly can be, but there is a huge gap in talent and athleticism.
Judah was cut over his right eye, let's not forget, in his last fight.
Zab tries to come in with the straight left hand, fires it off. Remember, in the first round against Cotto, he scored with that big left uppercut that had Cotto hurt.
Well, what Zab tries to do, it's twofold. One, Vazquez has a habit sometimes of using that left hand to catch the southpaw's jab. In this case, Zab Judah's jab. He'll reach out with that left hand, and he could leave himself open for a punch that just missed there. A counter right hook by Zab Judah. Zab can throw that counter right hook off his jab, or again, off the block when Vazquez reaches and leaves an opening with his left hand.
Zab able to go to the body, right on the belt line with that left hand. Snaps that jab off that right hip.
There's the loose Zab we talked about in the fight plan. Right hand down, the lead hand down and over on his left side.
Doubles it up this time. Now inside the pocket, just covers up, able to deflect the onslaught from Vazquez. Firing off 2 punches there. There he's in control, fires off the right hand, and then that straight left to the body again.
Again, When the hand's up, look for right hands, the traditional punch against the southpaw from Vazquez. When the hands are down of Judah, as you saw a minute ago, that lead right hand is down. That's where I would expect for Vazquez to move to that side, to his left, away from the power hand, the left hand of Zab, and towards that hole. With that right hand down of Zab Judah, that's a spot where Vazquez could move over and score with his left hand. Because of the difference in talent, Joe, that you talked about, Vazquez must take advantage more than most times. And there's that head.
There the head came in and it hit Zab flush in the mouth.
Vazquez, again, must take advantage of any kind of opportunities that are presented to have a chance tonight.
Coming to the end of round number 1, Vazquez and Judah.
One day you find it's not business as
Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you at the Hard Rock here in the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Zab Judah, Edwin Vazquez in round number 2. In that first round, Judah had 11-9 connect advantage. Hasn't won a fight in 2 years and 4 months, and trying to maintain his lofty position, Ring Magazine number 5 in the welterweight division, a division he was recently the undisputed champion of.
Just a moment ago, when Zab chucked some leather at Vazquez, you saw Vazquez lean forward. That could be just the moment that Judah needs for a good punch when somebody's leaning forward, the left uppercut. You can see again, Vazquez comes in with that edge.
That uppercut played a big role in that fight of the year type fight against Miguel Cotto, and looking back, Zab told us he could have used it even more.
Give credit to Vazquez for taking advantage with his left hand a moment ago when he saw Judah with that lead right hand down. Again, Vazquez cannot match up athletically, talent-wise, with Judah, so he must take advantage of any gaps, of any holes in technique, any kind of moments or opportunities that are there. Vazquez has to grab them. If it comes down to talent, he will not win.
Zab taking his time, looking for Vazquez to come in before firing off that left hand. Now you see the athleticism and the defensive abilities of Judah utilizing that speed.
What Judah likes to do is when you throw at him, in this case, when Vazquez throws a left hand at him, Judah likes to take that right shoulder, get it up high, and kind of pull the left shoulder back a little bit and counter with left hands. Make the left of his opponent miss and create an opening for his own left. That right there, and you saw it right there. He gets that shoulder up, he dips that left shoulder back, and he creates an opening either for a straight left hand or a left uppercut. If that's not there, well, Judah is not out of ammo. He can go to that right hook, that counter right hook, especially if Vazquez reaches out with his left hand to block the jab of Zab Judah. There are different offensive weapons available to Judah.
Short left hand on the inside from Zab. Vazquez tries to fire off, and said Judah goes to the body. 2-punch combination, and a straight left hand scores well for Judah here at the end of round 2 on Friday Night Fights.
In the fight plan was a little off. I said second round knockout with a left uppercut. Zab just missed making that prediction come true in that last round. You saw by maybe 1 inch that left uppercut just missing the chin of Vazquez.
You weren't the only one to notice that, because when he went back to the corner, Yoel Judah, his father and trainer, also noticed that it just missed hitting the spot. And he said, stay low, go back to that uppercut. He said, let me see a little bit of that Mike Tyson shimmy on the inside, look for it.
Again, look for Zab Judah to get that right shoulder up. Just watch it at home. That time he was a little late, and the jab scored with the right hand down of Judah. But Judah likes to get that right shoulder up, a little bit like Floyd Mayweather, and he dips that left shoulder back and creates an opportunity for left hands, either straight or up the middle. Again, I will give Vazquez some credit. Doesn't match up physically well, talent-wise well, but he has a fight plan. He's moving to his left away from the power hand of Judah, that backhand. And whenever Judah drops that right hand, you see Vazquez taking advantage with jabs. When the window was open, he goes through.
Right now, Zab with that right hand up in that punch and cock position, doubles up the jab. Just missed with a sweeping left hand that time as Vazquez came charging in.
Lots of weapons for Judah, 2 weapons offensively for Vazquez. The right hand, we talk about it with southpaws all the time. When the hands are up of Judah, that's what he looks for. And otherwise, when the hands are down, he looks for that jab. Most of Vazquez's fights have taken place in Puerto Rico. Vazquez has lost 2 of his last 4. And to make things even more difficult, took this fight on short notice.
Punch track numbers, the total punches. You can see Vazquez has tried to stay as busy as he can to match Judah. Tying up that right hand of Zab's with his left. Left hand to the body from Zab. It's been successful when he's committed to going there. Now on the inside, swinging away, chopping down Edwin Vazquez. End of 3. Wrapping up our season here on Friday Night Fights. What was the Friday Night Fight of the year? Boy, Darrell Woods and Samuel Miller, they put on quite a show this past spring in Tampa when the then undefeated Samuel Miller came out slugging in the first round, only to see Darrell Woods score 2 knockdowns, then turn the fight around. Miller actually came back in the fight, but the veteran Darrell Woods hung on for a majority decision. Who was the Friday Night Fighter of the year? The Dingling Man, Darnell Wilson. He went 2-0 on Friday Night Fights, beat the former cruiserweight champ Kelvin Davis, and then had the memorable knockout against Emmanuel Wodo. He vaulted himself into the top 10 ring rankings as a cruiserweight. Oh boy, was that a highlight. Darnell Wilson, the Friday Night Fighter of the year. Pretty good year we had for ourselves, Teddy.
A lot of action. Some good knockouts. That last knockout, we're glad, A, that he's okay, and probably that fight could have been stopped a little earlier, and then we wouldn't have had that sensational knockout, and we wouldn't have had to worry for those couple moments. But everything okay, and that is what matters.
Round 4 here. Good way to finish up this season. Former undisputed welterweight champ Zab Judah trying to maintain his lofty status in what is a jam-packed welterweight division. That includes our 2 studio guest analysts tonight, Miguel Cotto and Sugar Shane Mosley. Uppercut underneath on the inside.
You can see quite often that Judah, when he's not leading, when he's not like the old timers would say, just getting off first and being the boss that way, he likes to look for counters, and you could see a moment ago he's throwing feints every once in a while, and that's why he's throwing a feint. He's trying to get a lead out of Vazquez, where Vazquez will throw something, maybe a left hand, and he can do that. He can make it miss, and then, of course, he can come back and make him pay.
Teddy, out is the scorecard. Judah 3-zip, and now Judah picks up the pace a bit. Right hand comes in, and back goes Vazquez. Looked like the corner held him up that time as he was sent back. Halfway through this 4th round, now Judah. Will he come after it? both hands down around the waist. You can see the confidence has grown. There's that uppercut you were looking for, Teddy.
And again, you could see Zab, it's not just about throwing, it's about getting the right opportunity to throw and land. Setting up a moment and a spot. And you can see Zab likes to set it up with counters. Get a little bit of a miss out of Vazquez, get him to throw something, create a hole, and then fill that hole. And again, when you see that feint from Judah, that's what he's trying to do. Get a lead out of Vazquez and create a mistake by Vazquez that he can capitalize on. You saw a moment ago when Judah went off balance, indicative that he's loading up this round for a knockout.
A little bit of that Tyson shimmy that his father wanted to see now on the inside as he came forward. He doubled up that right hand, went to the potty, turned it into an uppercut upstairs, trying to split the guard of Vazquez. Now stalking his prey in the final 20 seconds here of round number 4. Blood trickling from the nose and mouth of Vazquez.
Again, right now, Zab Judah looking for a lead from Vazquez that he can turn into a counterpunch for himself.
Flurry from Vazquez. Trading punches with Judah at the end of this round.
I was talking about the last round that Zab looks for counters. Watch this lead hand here from Vazquez and watch the head movement and then the counter right here. He's waiting for a lead, he gets it, he makes a miss, and then he counters with that right uppercut. That is boxing or counterpunching 101.
Round number 5. At the end of that 4th round, there was a clash of heads. And when they went back to the corners, Zab Judah saw blood coming from the left eye. So now there's a cut above the left eye caused by a clash of heads. Teddy, you talked about the fact that Vazquez has been prone to headbutts. So Judah now has the cut above the left eye. Round number 5. Back to the jab for Zab. 10 years ago, Edwin Vazquez had a chance to break through in the Boxino tournament, but instead he was the victim of Acelino Freitas' breakthrough moment. Was TKO'd in the 7th round against the future world champion. Put forth as good of an effort as can be expected from him in this matchup against a truly elite welterweight. And you see blood streaming down the left side of the face of Judah.
Again, I mentioned it at the top. Zab was cut over his right eye in his last fight, and of course Vazquez cut 3 fights ago, and he's been involved in a couple technical draws where he gets his head banging away on the inside.
Zab has not been that productive here in round number 5. Patiently taking his time. Really went after it in the meat of that 4th round. Now some opportunities on the inside. Here are the punch track for this round, and you can see Judah just 3 connects to Vazquez's 9.
When Zab is hitting on all 8 cylinders and doing what he likes to do offensively, you'll see him looking for a lot of left hands. Again, he'll be on the outside. He'll bring that right shoulder up. He'll dip back and he'll look for a straight left hand, and he'll look for left uppercuts. Right now, Zab Judah reminding us that he can go to the body.
You can see he's wiping away at that cut above the left eye. Vazquez having the best round he's had so far, as Judah has come off the gas pedal a bit here in round number 5, but still Zab in control. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you ringside here at the Hard Rock in Biloxi, Mississippi. Zab Judah dealing with that cut just above the left eye. It happened from a clash of heads at the end of round number 4. Round number 6, Judah against Vazquez.
The important man now, everybody's important in that corner, but the man with the most responsibility right now to stop that cut in Zab's corner is John Arthur.
Opportunity with the right hook that time as Vazquez came charging in. Teddy Atlas's scorecard at the halfway point is scheduled 10-rounder. Shows Vazquez taking the last round 10-9. More of a product of Judah just not being the aggressor in that last round. His least productive round by far.
Vazquez trying to prove that there is a talent beyond speed and athleticism and great ability. There's a talent in being steady, under control, and reliable. And I believe Vazquez proved that point by grabbing a round in that fifth. Doing it the old-fashioned way. Nothing fancy, nothing spectacular. As I said, just in a steady workman-like way, using that left hand.
15-year veteran. Prior to this, he was coming off a loss to Matthew Hatton, the brother of Ricky Hatton.
There you see some of the diversity that Vazquez is using. Only two different things. Either the left jab when the right hand of Judah is down, or the straight right hand that fighters like to use against southpaws when Judah keeps his hands up.
Zab now sending out that jab, goes underneath with the left hand to the body. Doubles it up, just misses up top with the straight left hand.
Zab has been effective to the body in a couple spots that he's chosen to go there. Might not be a bad idea. Vazquez has already shown he's got a pretty good chin. Probably not a bad idea to stay to that body. Vazquez gives you opportunities when he covers up to go downstairs.
Right hand to the body from Vazquez. Zab tries to work underneath that belt line. Back out at range now.
Bring it out.
Pace has slowed just a bit here in the middle rounds. Coming to the end of round number 6, Edwin Vazquez and Zab Judah on Friday Night Fights here in the Gulf Coast. And speaking of the Gulf Coast, one of the favorite native sons from this area now joined us, Roy Jones Jr. Good to have you with us. You got a great reception when you came in here. Of course, so many fans for so many years here. You're making news here, fighting Felix Tito Trinidad. What can you tell us? Where does the fight stand?
Right now, we're looking at Madison Square Garden on January 19th. January 19th at Madison Square Garden. Wonderful pay-per-view event. A fight that should have probably happened some years ago, but Tito is back, and I guess he thinks he sees an opportunity to catch the old champ, but the old champ looking better than ever.
And you see an opportunity to take advantage of a guy who needs to be set on his feet, a good offensive fighter, but a guy who has trouble with movement that you can bring.
Exactly. I can bring movement and make it a very difficult night for him, but however, Ted, I've been looking at it a little different. For me being at this point in my game, at 175 pounds, we're going to meet at 170.
You're too big for him?
There's no way. That's what I'm saying. There's no way he should be able to last. So if he can, he's going to prove me wrong, but I'm going out there to stop him in 4 rounds, and I'm not trying to go no more than 4 rounds.
You're just going to go out there and be the bigger guy?
Go out there and bulldog him.
Right, I think a lot of people are wondering, what does Tito even have left coming back against you in a spot like this?
Well, I guess the good news for you, Roy, is you have those two choices. You can walk him down, or you can go around walking around the block a little bit.
Exactly. I love having those options, but because he's such a strong fighter and a guy who has a lot of power in both hands, I figure let's make it a good fight. Let's get the fans what they're going to pay to see. So I got to go walk him down.
Round number 7 here, Zab Judah against Edwin Vazquez. Zab has been dealing with that cut above the left eye since round number 4 due to a clash of heads. He was really turning it on before that cut developed in round number 4. For a moment there, it looked like he was scoring big with the uppercut and that he was possibly going to get rid of Vazquez, but now he's come off the gas pedal a bit. Roy, what do you make of Zab's showing tonight?
I think he's just trying to get him some rounds in, get a little bit of rest off of him, make sure he's back. I think he's been looking really, really good, really brilliant, very good defense, very good counter punches. He took a low round off when he lost that 1 round. I think he let the cut bother him a little bit that round, but I think he's got it under control now, and I don't see no problems for him.
Roy, Vazquez has shown a pretty reliable chin. and he's shown some veteran moves in there. You know, moves his head just enough to survive the big shots. If you were Zab and you went there with that and you saw that, would you start going downstairs a little bit more?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Ted, that's what I was telling Zab between rounds, was go to the body more, because this guy's a very durable head. You're going to have a hard time trying to knock him out with one headshot. Whereas body down a little bit first, then go back up to his head and check it every now and then. As we get older, we got to get smarter and learn that sometimes these guys do have good heads, but he's been a 15-year veteran, and he also has a little bit of skills. And like you say, he's moving his head just enough sometimes to avoid the big punch. So you use that body to wear him down a little bit more, and then that big punch will land.
Absolutely.
You know, Roy, you brought up a good point about Zab maybe wanting to get some rounds in, and it's good for him because when we had him on Friday Night Fights before the Miguel Cotto fight, he only got a round in because of a clash of heads that caused a stoppage and no contest and won. That didn't serve him well coming off the year suspension going into the Cotto fight.
No, that hurt him real bad. I think that was his big disadvantage in the Cotto fight, was that he didn't have enough rounds. So right now he needs the rounds.
Digging to the body well, scores with a two-punch combination. Now flicks that right jab off the hip.
And right now you can see those opportunities where Vazquez, where he covers up, puts those earmuffs on a little bit, he allows and gives the opportunity for Zab to go downstairs.
And that's what Zab has got to take advantage of. If a guy gives you that, you got to take what he gives you. Good body shot.
There it is, the left hand to the body right on the belt line. Came back, tried to place the right hand. Coming to the end here of round number 7. Edwin Vazquez trying to hang around with Zab Judah. We will have more with Roy Jones Jr. when we come back to Friday Night Fights. Roy Jones Jr. here as Zab Judah is going after round number 8 here. Roy Jones, we got the sense that he may try to get rid of him because of what was said in the corner. He said he's out of here. They didn't take a seat on the stool. He said we got some work in. We look good. Now let's do it.
And now he's going to try to land some big headshots to see can the guy take him. But now he must have sensed some weakness in the last round.
And that big headshot is going to come in the form of what Zab has the most confidence in. That left hand, the power hand, where he can turn on it. And there it is to the body.
Here comes Zab on the attack.
When there's a little distance, Zab, Roy, I was talking about this before, he loves to get that right shoulder up and just bring that left shoulder back and make his opponent miss a little bit and create an opening for a left hand, either an uppercut or a straight left. And you can almost see that Zab's looking for that opening or that opportunity right there.
Zab says, here I am, come and get it. Towing the line. Reaches in.
Well, what he's doing, he's setting his feet, and he's looking for Vazquez, Roy knows that, to do some of the work for him. He's looking for Vazquez to be a little bit of a sucker, to walk into him where he can make him miss and make him pay. And Vazquez is having no part of it right now. Right, Roy?
That's
a good left hand.
Time he catches it. Again, you can see Zab, what's on his mind. He's trying to get some help, not from his friend, but from his opponent. He's trying to get a lead out of Vazquez where he can create an opening for a big left hand.
And Vazquez is not a 15-year veteran for nothing. He knows it.
Yeah, he does know it. You're right. And that's why he was laying back, and he wasn't going to be part of his own demise. There was no way he was going to help Zab defeat himself.
Still think the key to it for Zab is though to go to his body a little bit more. That first left hand he hit him over here to the body really hurt Vazquez. If he keeps that up, Vazquez will have no other choice but to go down.
There's that uppercut. Solid left uppercut. Vazquez stayed there, looks over at Roy, and tries to go back to work.
And that was the help that Zab was looking for. A little bit of a lead out of Vazquez and a little bit of a lean forward opened the door for that big shot.
And that was a beautiful left uppercut.
A lot of blood coming from the nose and mouth of Edwin Vazquez.
You know,
Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr., 4-division champion, former pound-for-pound great. Thank you so much for your time. It's always nice to visit with you.
Thank you guys for being here. Pensacola always in the house. Y'all check me out with Tito Trinidad.
Good luck,
End of 8.
Thank you.
Uppercut here, you're going to see a lead punch and you're going to see a little bit of a movement from Zab, and then the uppercut. Zab's going to make a miss. He's looking for a little help. He gets Vazquez to lean forward, and we'll take another look. A little lean from Vazquez, a missed punch, and not a missed opportunity by Judah to land his favorite shot, the left uppercut.
Round number 9. Zab Judah was told, go and put on a show. 2 rounds to go. Vazquez has stayed in there. Didn't go down from that left uppercut in round 8. Judah wants to end this in spectacular fashion after getting good, solid rounds in. And probably more than expected test from Vazquez. Vazquez came in as prepared as he could be.
And again, I should give Vazquez, and I will, the credit that he deserves. I said he would be knocked out in 2. Well, he was going to have no part of that and made me wrong. He has eaten left uppercuts, but he survived those left uppercuts. And for the most part, as you just touched on, Joe, he's had a good battle plan. Move to his left away from the power of Judah. Use his jab to score when Judah's dropped that right hand. And he's done little subtle things that an experienced fighter that's been around 15.5 years can do. He's moved his head a little bit, and he's avoided the big shots and stayed in this fight.
5th and 6th round. That after Judah was cut and took the 5th round off, and Vazquez just worked a little more in the 6th round. But Zab well ahead on Teddy's scorecard. Zab still waiting on that opportunity for Vazquez to come forward and see if he can deliver that big power shot again.
The danger with Zab is when you start looking for that left hand, the power hand of Zab, he can catch you with the right hand and with the right hook. And again, you can see what Zab's doing this round, Joe. He's not leading. He's not using that jab you like to see him use sometimes in creating offense. He's looking to find offense. He's looking for Vazquez to help him out a little bit. And as Roy Jr. said before, Vazquez experienced enough. When he sees that, he lays back. He doesn't come forward. There he went forward because he saw Zab Judah move his feet and he wasn't set. But for the most part, you could see when Vazquez feels that Judah's trying to lead him into a trap, he lays back. And that's exactly what Judah's trying to do. He's not creating offense with his jab. He's looking for Vazquez to create it for him by making a mess and countering him.
Vazquez has scored a couple of times upstairs in the final minute here of this 9th round. Now Judah back to the inside, tries to score with the left hand.
10 seconds.
A lot of blood coming from the nose and mouth of Edwin Vazquez. 1 round to go. Former undisputed welterweight world champion Zab Super Judah, 10th and final round. Many doubted Edwin Vazquez would reach this round, but here we are on Friday Night Fights from the Hard Rock Hotel Casino in Biloxi, Mississippi. Zab Judah headlining this Friday Night Fights. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. Still to come tonight, one of the best prospects in the entire game, Lamont Peterson, 21-0, will be taking on Frankie Santos. Teddy Atlas's scorecard. Zab in control, 88-83. The tune changed after that 9th round in the corner of Judah. When he went back, he heard, hey, go out there and box. You don't have to worry about the knockout now.
If there's any room for criticism, and there's not a lot of it in the performance of Judah tonight, he got the rounds that he wanted and for the most part controlled most of the rounds. Although I'm sure he didn't want to get that cut that he wound up getting over the left eye. But if there's any room for a little constructive criticism, it would be that Zab could have used his jab more, Joe. Always an important weapon for any fighter, especially when you want to create offense on the front end. And Zab hasn't done a lot of that. He's been looking for a lot of his offense, and he's looking for it now on the back end, off a counter and off of a mistake by Vazquez.
Interestingly, Teddy, you make that point because that's the one thing that he told us he wants to improve most on is just letting the jab go out there more, utilizing it more and more.
There's times where you're going to get opportunities to counter, but there's going to be many times you're not. And that's where you have to create your own offense, and the jab plays a huge part in that.
There's that right uppercut. He scored with that earlier. Doubled up the jab, just missed with the chopping left-handed Judah.
You see two things going on right now. You could see the mind of Judah, again, looking for a counter, looking for a mistake, looking for some help and cooperation from Vazquez. For him to throw where Judah can make him miss and make him pay. But you could also see Vazquez, when he sees that, he lays back a little bit. He doesn't want to walk into a trap. Right now, not laying back.
So Vazquez goes the distance with Judah, but Zab controlled throughout. We will come back and make it official when we return to Friday Night Fights from Hard Rock Live. Friday Night Fights season finale from Hard Rock Live here in the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Zab, Judah, Edwin Vazquez in our main event, Teddy. In round number 4, Zab picked up the pace and went firing after the rugged Vazquez.
And what he picked it up with was uppercuts. First with the left, then the right, and then he went downstairs to the body to try to slow down a very determined Vazquez.
Suffered a cut from a clash of heads in that round, so took a couple rounds off, slowed down, but then picked it up again in the 8th round.
And picked it up this time with straight punches, not the uppercuts. Some straight shots upstairs, and then later on reminded Vazquez that left uppercut was always a dangerous weapon.
Let's take a look at the Just for Men Punch Track Fight recap. Total punches, Zab outdoes him 149 to 118, landing 33%. Teddy Atlas's scorecard looks this way. 98-92 for that man, Zab Super Judah. Let's hear what the judges had to say by way of M. Mark Piero.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge David Taranto scores it 97-93. Judge Larry Ingalls sees it 98-93. Judge Raymond White has it 190, all to the winner by unanimous decision, Zab Super Judah.
Zab Judah gets a shutout on one of the scorecards. His first win since May of 2005. Zab does exactly what he wants to do. We will hear from Zab Judah coming up a little bit later on Friday Night Fights, still to come in just a jam-packed season.